Hello friends, you're here with Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and today I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. This Sunday, we just had a new moon last night. It was really lovely, and I had my astral oil and my astral tea in my window that I kept out in the moonlight. Now, I started that the day before the new moon. I started in the new moonlight the next day. I'm going to keep them in the glass jars in my window, absorbing that moonlight, and shake them a little bit every day, okay? That's something I forgot to mention in that last video. But now we're going to jump in and talk about what I've got on the table right now. And that is eggshells and some really cool, interesting things that I've found with them, and what I find that you can and can't do with them. Some DIY things with eggshells that I came up with last week, and just a lot of things. So I'm going to tip you down so that you can see my workings, and then we'll talk some more throughout, and then when we're through. So I'm going to tip you down to my table so you can see what I'll be doing here. That should be good. Okay, so I'm going to start by lighting my candle, because here I have white eggshells and I have brown eggshells, and I find that they're very different in energies. The brown eggshells generally hold a very calm, relaxing, happy energy, whereas the white eggshells don't. Usually these ones are organic and free range, so they were happier, they were treated better in life in their spirit body. And these ones, if you look into, I don't know if you've watched the movie Earthlings or watched about how animals are treated, you would understand that these would be holding some really intense chaotic energies. So I like to light a candle and put that in between them. And I wanted to do that with a match to show you that the match is the best way. A butane can suck the magic out of your candle, and that would be a travesty. So first off, I don't know how well you can see it, but here I've popped in, I've made a DIY incense burner using 2 little eggshells, and then you have to try a couple because they won't always stand up, and it might take a minute. Like, look, it doesn't stand up, but just play with it and then keep it over something that's glass or that you don't care about if it burns, and you know, go ahead and light that from your altar candle. Hold a little blessing on it, cleanse this space. And it's so cool because this happy energy that's in this little eggshell will help you cleanse your home. Now, I wouldn't use a white eggshell for this because I don't feel like that would be a cleansing energy, where this is. And I hope that that is something that you agree with and kind of understand. So for now, I'm going to pop this over here and just kind of enjoy, I suppose. And then I want to show you about how I wash and clean my eggshells. So after I crack them and put them in the pan for my daughter, then I just rinse them out in water, and then I dry them upside down in this cup that has a drain at the bottom. Like, it was a piece of pottery that didn't end up working, and so it actually drains water out the bottom. I poured tea in this a couple of times and forgotten, and the water just goes whoosh. It's crazy. So yes, get them, dry them out. They're completely dry. And then I have a mortar and pestle that I use for eggshells. And I like to crunch them with my hands and put as much intention as there as I can. And I'm going to stop talking while I do this, because this is actually my magic. I'm doing it for you guys. But what I want you to understand is, when you touch things, when you touch your herbs, when you touch your ingredients, your literal DNA from your hands goes into that, okay? So whether that's something you want in there or not, you know, remember, your DNA will be in there if you touch it. But I think that's what makes it our magic. So just getting those in there, and I've got quite a few saved here. I keep them under these glass domes so that the energies don't mix with each other, and I'm not going to be, everyone knows what a white eggshell looks like, right? And then the brown ones are white inside. And they leave, here are the 2 difference when you grind them up. This one is really just a pure gray white. And then this one is a really cool speckly, almost pinkish purple. And they're both, again, so cool and so different, but it depends on what kind of magics you're working with. So let's try to crunch these up a bit. I'm burning a little sandalwood here. I'm a fan of sandalwood, and I don't have it in the resin form. So, it depends on what witch you ask, but counterclockwise, some people say that's for good intention. Clockwise is for good intention, counterclockwise is for poor intentions, hexings, banishings, return to sender, that kind of thing. Not poor intentions, but the opposite of just pure good, I suppose. Not the opposite. I don't know the word I'm looking for. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm doing this clockwise because they are the brown organic eggshells that are happy, and I will be doing, and I always do these counterclockwise because I use them for the opposite effect. And I don't even have very much of this. I don't use it super often. I use the white eggshells in poppets, banishing, return to sender. It takes a while, even when they're completely dried out, because there's just like a thin membrane, more attached to these brown ones than the white ones. The white ones are going to be much easier to grind up, which I feel says a lot about it. Also, if you're going to make chalk, the white ones are probably going to be much better than these. I don't even know if you could make chalk out of these. Positivity and love. Positivity and love. Positivity and love. Positivity and love. Just trying to enchant in between. You can feel energies from things, guys, especially if you meditate and you try and be more in tune with your body and with nature. And the more that you touch things like this, and the more that you start to be alone with these things in a quiet room like I am, you'll just really start to come into tune with all the energies of the world, which I think is fantastic. So basically, I would keep going for another maybe 10 minutes crushing those to get them to be this size. You could do lots of little lovely magics by putting things inside of here, like some cleansing herbs, and then setting that up next to a candle. That's something I do often because, you know, these hold fertility, they hold life, they are protection. An eggshell is just so protective to the egg itself, right? Like, it developed the whole life from wherever it started to wherever it ended. And I hope that, and I feel that most of these ended fairly nicely. So yes, thank you for joining me with this video. I'm going to bring this up again. And let's see, the other videos that I'll be making today, I'm going to be making some on how to make full moon blessed sand, so that in 2 weeks when the full moon comes, you can be out there doing it. I can teach you guys how to make full moon blessed water and a full moon elixir. I take glass bottles and then I put copper wire and moonstone or amethyst on the outside of the glass bottle. And then I put that in the moonlight and I write a date on it. I use labels. I mean, the whole shebang. I want to show you guys how I do it from start to finish because I think that the way that I do it is super cool and everybody seems to want to know about it. So I want to show you, and I will see you soon. We'll be talking about full moon sand. Thanks, guys.